Hello my followers, my viewers, and everyone that comes across this video. This video is important as long as you're a solar user or intending to learn solar installations. It is important you watch this video because I came across this clip and it is actually heart devastating. How do I mean? This video is actually something that is meant to encourage you as a starter, anybody that is about to use solar energy, to know whom to trust your project with. Many people have claimed to become installers. Many people have tried doing it in different ways, but it is always important to engage a professional whenever you are running an installation. Because I wonder why people that want to invest their money to achieve a long-term purpose will invest their money in the wrong ways. By just little mistake, it alters the million investment that you do in the place of solar installation. So I came across this video and I want you to watch it to the end. Then after this clip, I will show you the tips, what to do if you're an installer to avoid this from happening, and also the precautionary measures to be taken by the end users before the installation to avoid you spending your money when it is not meant to be spent. And also, I am so much happy that when you finish watching this video, the precautionary measures that will be listed in this video will help you to maintain standard and also make use of professionals in your installation. Let's go there. Watch this video, kindly share it to the people you love, to people that are using solar, people that are intending to use solar, and even you that is watching. Encourage someone to engage a professional whenever he or she is running an installation, especially when it comes to lithium battery. It is very important that a professional engages the installation from the initial to the finishing. It will help you maintain the long-term value that you have invested your money to. Of course, you know there are a lot of factors that causes fire outbreak when we are running solar installations, but I will take my time to outline them one after the other and give you the tips on things you can do to avoid damage of these engineering materials and equally save you costs of waste and also save the time that the installer use in doing this, because the time you use in remedial maintenance is actually the time you have used at the initial time to get the desired results. Now listen to this. There are many factors, like I said. One, after watching this video, I found out caused this fire outbreak from this solar system to happen. One of them is battery related causes. What are the things that can happen to your battery and it will make them to explode or to catch fire, like we always say? Sincerely speaking, looking at this battery, you find out that there's what we call thermal runaways. This thermal runaways is what determines overcharging, over-discharging, and equally internal damage. So when you look at this things that I mentioned, and some people will say, are you talking about the battery only? No, but first you should consider the battery state whenever you bring it. Like when we talk about overcharging, when the battery is charged beyond the required voltage, there is a tendency of the voltage exploding, because when the cell is overcharged and the battery management system, that is the BMS, is not proper or in good condition to control it, it will definitely explode. And by so doing, there is every discharge that will come explosively and cause the battery or the system to catch fire. I know you wouldn't like that to happen. Then the next one is over-discharging. When you notice that your battery is no longer in the initial state that it was maintained, that is when you brought it, you know the level it is, you know the rate at which it discharges, know the consumption of what you are using. When the thing is fast discharging, it simply indicates that the battery is faulty. Don't force it to give you that which you need. So you must ensure that you maintain it. If not, replace the battery to avoid such buildup of internal resistance. Then in the same way, there's another one we call poor quality or damaged cells. Most of the times the battery we buy, if you keep them for the long period of time without recharging and discharging, there is also a decline in the cycle. How do I mean? There is a rules for any battery that you bring that over time, within a period of 3 months, you should be able to have charged it and also use it. So when you overstore them and the cycles is going down, so one of the things that will happen is that you will notice that the load or the physical damage part will begin to do what? To prone to short circuit. Get it again. When you bring such battery and store them without usage, without charging, the cycle is going down, and when that happens, the cells will start getting damaged, and that is prone to short circuit and overheating. And whenever something is connected to it, it will overheat. All of a sudden it will trip off. When it does that, over time the battery will explode. Then the next thing you should know about this battery is the internal short circuit. These are the cause. This one comes either from the manufacturing error, maybe the things they did is as defects, they couldn't control it, or probably during quality control it was not noticed, probably by puncture or even the range of separators that was not properly positioned in the layers the way it should be. Then inside that cells, you should consider this battery to be faulty and don't use them at the first time. The moment you discover them as a user or an installer, don't convince your client to use the battery. Return it to the people you bought it from so it can be replaced. Stop stressing your users or the end users of solar system, because as they invest their money in the first time, they should be able to get the value of what they have paid for. This is very important. Then the next factor you should know that you can see at the cause of this fire outbreak in this video is that wiring connections issues. I dwell so much in this in my previous video, but this time around I have to be brief to tell you what it is. When we talk about wiring and connection issues, most of the times the installers do not engage the appropriate gauge of cable that is needed for installation. Remember that loose or corroded terminals, loose or corroded this your system. When the connections are not properly tight, when they are not fastened, there is a buildup of heat that can get to high currents. On that note, it will make sure that everything that is connected to it is damaged. So you should be able to know that you cannot undersize the cables. When the requirement says 6 mm, go for 6 mm gauge. When it says 10 mm, ensure you use 10 mm. When it is 16 mm, ensure that the system maintains 16 mm. If it is 25 mm, use 25 mm to do what? To maintain the proper gauge and ensure that there is no loss of current along the line. Excessive heating also affect the peak of the load. And during this period, when the load is high, because the cable is undersized, it will begin to melt. If you touch any of those insulators that the copper wires are being coated with, you find out that they are heating up. So you must be able to choose the correct size of cable in order to maintain maximum currents along the system. Then incorrect polarity connections. Some people claim to do installations without initial training, and that is why it is important that you must engage a professional. Even if the person is learning, let there be a quality control person, that is a production, a project manager in that site. The project manager in the site should be able to know the exact connections that is done. If not, the system will not withstand the test of time, and over time, because of improper terminals, it gets burnt of every other thing that you have done properly. So when you are investing your money, make sure you buy quality material, go with the required gauge of cable, and ensure you engage a proper and trained professional engineer or technicians that should be able to tell you the truth about the materials per time. That is why project manager is required whenever a project is meant to be executed. I know you would love to hear more about this, but I suggest you share this video to every other person that would love to go into solar system and ensure that the money they invest in solar is enjoyed to the very maximum. So in the same way, I will encourage you that you should note that there are other factors to be considered, and one of those factors is inverter related causes. So as we are criticizing this video, we are not criticizing the person that did it, we are criticizing the outcome of his action, and we are trying to ensure that nobody repeats this in any of the solar installations, because I have watched series of videos and all I could see is danger ahead to happen. But I urge you, after watching this video, always go for the best, and the best material and also the professional installers to maintain balance in the system. Faulty or low quality inverters. When the system is overloaded, when your inverter capacity is small and you overload it, this can equally come from a client. So you should be able to know that these are very wrong. By design, there is a specific load that an inverter should be able to withstand. That is, the maximum load capacity should not be exceeded. In as much as you are trying to enjoy electricity, everything has capacities, everything has sizes. Just like your shoe size is your shoe size. You cannot use what a small child is wearing and put it in adult. The same way, you cannot carry inverter of 1 kVA and load an appliances of 3 kVA. It is wrong. And whenever you are doing that, you have to choose the proper inverter and maintain a tolerance that will be able to balance the load. Have I said this? Poor internal circuitry of the inverter can get the components damaged. That is why you need to maintain it properly. Then go for surge protection. We already know that most of the times what we call surge is actually because of the irregularities that happens in the voltage system. Every spark, lightning, and faults can damage the MOSFET. So consider that this surge is used to protect your inverters. When that is done, there shall be a maximum enjoyment of the inverter. In the same way, improper cooling affects this. When your inverter is overheated, that's why we advise you make a space for ventilations whenever you are running your solar installations, where ventilation can be coming in, because there's what we call the heat exchangers inside the inverter that will be able to receive the cooling part of it and emit the heat within the system. so it can maintain the room temperature per time. Then poor matching with battery chemicals. We already said this. You should know that lithium battery is always done with programs. So whenever you mismatch them, the profile of charging diminishes. In the same way, you should consider installation and environmental factors. I will be coming back in my next video to treat this and also tell you about BMS, that is the battery management system. I know you are gaining value in this. Help me in sharing this video. Ensure everyone around you watch this video and maintain a high class by going for a professional, and equally ensuring that every dime money you spend in solar is returned to you as value. Thank you once again. I remain myself, RexSam, the Solar Doctor. See you in my next video.